Hi everyone, it's Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 422 days, Ukraine defends itself against the Russian invasion. Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting took place yesterday in Ramstein, Germany, reports Interfax Ukraine. The Ramstein format, also known as Ukraine Defense Contact Group, unites defense ministers and other high-level officials from over 50 states that provide military support to Ukraine or consider doing so. At the meeting, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said that partners have provided Ukraine with more than 230 tanks and 1,550 armored vehicles in recent months. He added that the contact group has delivered other equipment and ammunition to support more than 9 new armored brigades created in Ukraine. According to the defense secretary, ground-based air defense systems are currently the most necessary type of weapon for Ukraine. Chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley also said at a press conference that now the most important thing is to ensure the reliability of air defense of Ukraine, to ensure that anti-aircraft systems can hit targets at different heights. He stressed that the most cost-efficient and fastest way for Ukraine to control its airspace is exactly with air defense. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov said that members of the tank coalition met on the sidelines of the Ramstein meeting on Friday and signed a protocol of intent to establish a Leopard 2 tank maintenance center in Poland, reports NV. The minister said the armored fist formed by collaborative efforts will thwart the terrorist regime's aggression against Europe and the entire free world. Lloyd Austin informed that at the beginning of summer, U.S. military personnel will begin training Ukrainian servicemen in Germany to operate and maintain M1 Abrams tanks, reports Union. According to him, the United States will send Abrams to Germany in the next few weeks so that Ukrainian soldiers can train on them. Earlier, the media said that 31 tanks will be delivered to Germany at the end of May. Chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley informed that about 25,000 Ukrainian soldiers are currently training in Germany, while 9,000 have already returned to Ukraine, reports Interfax Ukraine. He added that 65 people have completed training on Patriot air defense systems. Milley also commented on the situation around Bakhmut, saying that fierce fighting over the city continues, with Russia expending significant manpower for very little benefit, while Ukrainian forces are highly motivated to fight for their country. The Russians lack in leadership, they lack will, the morale is poor and discipline is eroding, Chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff said. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family, as well as share information on social media. This way more people would learn about the podcast and truth about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Czech Republic expressed its readiness to modernize several dozen more T-72 tanks as part of a partnership project with the United States and the Netherlands, reports European Pravda. Czech Deputy Defense Minister Daniel Blaškovec said that the current priorities of Prague in terms of armed support of Kyiv are BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles, tanks, large-caliber ammunition, means of electronic warfare, reconnaissance and air defense. In particular, within the tank modernization project, Ukraine already received 37 out of more than 90 T-72 tanks. The deputy minister added that the Czech Republic wants to boost up modernization rates and sees interest of other partners in this idea. Canada announced a new defense support package for Ukraine worth almost $29 million, reports Radio Liberty. Out of this budget, approximately $2.5 million was allocated for 40 sniper rifles and ammunition, new radios worth about $2 million for the Leopard tanks. At the Ramstein meeting, the Minister of Defense Anita Anand stated that Canada's aid to Ukraine includes also the allocation of funds for 3.3 million liters of fuel, modular floating bridges and first aid kits. At the same time, Minister of National Defense of Portugal, Helena Carreiras, announced that her country will transfer 5 armored vehicles to Ukraine, reports Ukrainska Pravda. 3 of the M113 type and 2 of the M577 type. Minister of Defense of Latvia, Inara Murniece, announced the decision to hand over all Stinger portable anti-aircraft missile complexes available to the Latvian side to Kyiv. In addition, Latvia continues to implement the training program for Ukrainian servicemen. By the end of the year, Latvia will train almost 3,000 soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky informed in his evening video address that he held a meeting of the staff. They discussed the situation on the front line, creation of new brigades, the issue of their provision, training and integration in the overall defense plan. The president stressed that everyone in Ukraine must understand that the main task of the state is the occupation of our territories, the return of our lands and our people from Russian captivity. He expressed gratitude to everyone who helps, who keeps the world's focus on Ukraine, to everyone who creates jobs in Ukraine, who pays taxes and who stays in the country and supports the work of their enterprises, to everyone who organizes fundraising for soldiers and recovery. Zelensky thanked those partners who met in the Ramstein format and whose determination is fully in line with the actual situation and needs on the battlefield. Russian court arrested in absentia head of Ukraine's military intelligence Kyrylo Budanov for the explosion on Crimean Bridge, reports Suspilne. According to the local media, the Russian security service FSB suspects Budanov and Ukraine's intelligence in planning and conducting an attack last October. Russia calls it a terrorist act and plans to add Budanov to the international wanted list. Budanov responded saying that he was pleased. "This is a good indicator of our work and I promise to work even better," head of the Ukraine's military intelligence told Ukrainska Pravda. The Highlights from Ukraine podcast is a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we're getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.